Good morning, GMS. I'm Jay.
And I'm Sophie.
Let's get started with the news.
Last week there was a total solar eclipse on the 8th. Did you see it? If so, and you have eclipse glasses that have no holes or scratches in them, please take them to the office.
Xanadu Jr. will be performed in the high school auditorium on April 26th and the 27th. You can purchase tickets at the show and online. See Ms. Lincourt for more details.
I hope you brought your headphones or earbuds because iLearn testing begins this week. Remember to do your best, GMS.
Today is the Fine Arts Night. The sixth grade band and choir will be performing. The performance will be in the GMS Gymnasium. Band and choir members need to be there by 6 p.m. The concert starts at 7 p.m.
The spring skating party is tomorrow night at Franklin Skate Club from 6 to 8:30 p.m. The admission is $4 and skate rental is $2.
Now it's time to head over to our interview of the week.
This week we're featuring our intern principal, Mr. Garrison.
Good morning, GMS. I'm Emma here with our staff member of the week, our new interim principal, Mr. Garrison. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good. Okay, question 1. Would you like to start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name's Mr. Garrison, and I'm married. I have 2 kids. My oldest is a teacher, 3rd grade at Clark Pleasant, and my youngest is graduating at IU in May. I live in Greenwood. I've been here quite a long time. I'm a retired teacher and administrator, so I was in education for 31 years. My last 17 years were at Greenwood High School, and I was the principal at Greenwood High School for 8 years. And during, I guess, the last 17 or 18 years, I've also been selling real estate. So I help buyers and sellers find homes and businesses and do some land and a little bit of commercial. And so when I retired from education, I've been into real estate. And but I'm just here temporarily helping Greenwood Middle School and having a great time.
Question 2. How was your first few weeks here at GMS?
I tell you what, my first week here was outstanding. I had such a great time. I was so comfortable when I came in, and everybody made me feel welcome. And I'll be honest with you, I couldn't have had a better time. And I'm still having a great time here at the middle school.
What are some of the biggest differences between middle school and high school students?
Oh, other than the obvious, there's, their high school students are older and some maturity levels there that are differences. To be honest with you, though, there's not a lot of big differences between the high school and middle school. I mean, there's a little bit more pressure at the high school. You're working with credits. You really need to be careful that you're passing your classes and getting your credits. But I would say the thing that I have enjoyed the most at the middle school is everybody's willingness just to say hi to me just down the hall. Students I don't know, high-fiving me and just being kind. And not that they're not kind at the high school, but I just found it really refreshing here at the middle school how welcoming everybody's been.
What did you do during the eclipse, and what did you think about it?
Oh, the eclipse was great. I'm sure, did you have a good time with the eclipse?
Yes.
Oh, the thing I remember the most is how beautiful the day was. We were having bad weather, but that day was beautiful. So our view was outstanding. But like many people here in town, I stayed home because we heard about the chaos that was supposed to happen, and not that it really did, but we all stayed home. So I had some friends come over and just enjoyed the day, cooked out, enjoyed the eclipse, and again, just a beautiful day to be outside.
What is your favorite thing about GMS Middle School?
Ooh, my favorite thing, I'm going to say that's a pretty simple answer, and that's the people that are in the building. The students that are in the building, the staff that are in the building. Again, the kindness that I see every day makes every day enjoyable. I get up every morning and I'm excited to come to work, even though it's been a couple of years since I've been in the school environment. So absolutely, all the people make Greenwood Middle School a great place.
Thank you for coming on our show today, Mr. Garrison. Have a great week. Now let's get back to the studio.
This is GMS Sports. Now let's look at this week's home events for the week of April 15th. On Monday, April 15, 2024, boys golf versus Franklin and Greenwood Christian starting at 4:45 p.m. Tuesday, 7th and 8th grade softball versus Indian Creek starting at 6 o'clock p.m. Track and field versus Center Grove North starting at 5:30 p.m. On Wednesday, track and field versus Franklin Township starting at 5:30 p.m. Girls tennis versus Plainfield starting at 5:30 p.m. There's a lot going on Thursday. 8th grade baseball and is playing New Palestine Junior High starting at 5:30 p.m. Girls tennis is playing John Wooden starting at 5:30 p.m. also. 7th grade softball is taking on Columbus Central starting at 6 o'clock p.m. And boys golf versus Center Grove North is starting at 4 o'clock p.m. That's all for sports. Have a great week. Bye.
Are you ready, Miles?
Miles!
My bad, y'all. Joking about being addicted to our phones is as common as breathing. We've all been on our phones, scrolling infinitely, waiting for a notification, or refreshing the page hoping to see something funny. When I started using YouTube, dang, I sound old. When the video ended, it just ended. There wasn't any autoplay, and when you got to the bottom of your Twitter or your Instagram feed, you had to click the next page or there was something telling you that it was the end. Now apps use design tricks, which are basically ways tech companies grab our attentions through design features. You can scroll for as long as your thumb will allow, videos will autoplay and jump right into the next video without you having to do a thing. But it's not by accident, it's by design. Yep, that's right. Our favorite apps are designed to keep us on them as long as possible. It's how they make their money. So today we're asking, what are the design tricks tech companies are using to keep us hooked? So how did we get here? A lot of it starts with this dude, BJ Fogg. He founded the Behavior Design Lab at Stanford University in 1998. As a graduate student at Stanford, Fogg ran the first ever series of experiments to discover how computers could change people's attitudes and behaviors. He was inspired by this dude, B.F. Skinner. Basically, Skinner did a famous experiment where he put a rat in a box with a lever that gave the rat a snack when pulled. But the rat didn't get a snack every time it pressed the lever. This is called intermittent reinforcement. And as a result, the rat pulled the lever more often, like a gambler pulling a slot machine. This is exactly what's happening when you're clicking through TikToks or watching Reels. You keep going because you don't know when you'll see something good or rewarding. A few boring or irrelevant videos and posts, then you see something you like, then you repeat. The idea behind Fogg's work is that computers can be designed such that they influence the behavior of the people who use them. Basically, if computers can make our lives easier, here's a funny video, human, then we'll spend more time with them. I'm never letting you out of my sight. I love you so much. And it wasn't just Fogg though. This was the late 90s going into the early 2000s. .coms were all the rage. Computers were becoming a part of folks' everyday lives. Silicon Valley and Fogg were discovering these powerful tools to predict human behavior at the same time. One discovery Google figured out was that if they analyzed search history, they could help with spelling errors in searches. So that's why "did you mean" would pop up when you misspelled restaurant. This was helpful for the users, but they also realized spelling errors weren't the only thing that they could predict. They continued to explore this data and realized it had surprising power to predict things about us. Those predictions turned out to be very interesting to people selling things, products, ideas, political candidates, and campaigns. So companies started selling those predictions. They realized the more data they had, the better the predictions were.
Whether an 18-year-old to a 60-year-old, these big tech companies and companies in general want to ensure that you are scrolling and using their device for as long as possible.
That's Emma Lemke, who started designing for us while still in high school as a multimedia coalition for young folks to share how online spaces should be designed safely and intentionally with young folks in mind.
Because what that ensures is you are scrolling for longer, you're engaging for longer, you are able to generate for them more profit, and thus they want to maximize your attention at all costs, even at the cost of your own well-being, safety, privacy, security.
And let's face it, folks spend a lot of time on online spaces. It would be a waste of my time to tell you to get off that dang phone. Plus, I'd be a hypocrite. Like, I spend an average of 7 hours a day on my phone, or so Apple says I do. That's 49 hours a week, or 196 hours a month. Basically, I'm spending 96 days a year on my phone. That's like 3 months. And that's very sad and draining to say out loud. Maybe I could have taken up wood shop and finally made that table and chairs I've always dreamt of. Or, knowing me, I actually probably would have just found another way to procrastinate. But the point is, we spend a lot of time on our phones, and there has to be an acknowledgement of how that's affecting us.
And what those addictive features can do to you can have long-term impacts. It can result in a worsening of one's mental state. It leads to increased rates of anxiety and depression from scrolling and not being able to unplug. That can bombard young people with feelings of hopelessness. You can feel FOMO, which pulls you even more into addictive apps and to platforms that keep you scrolling even if you're not happy.
The things we're seeing online can heavily influence our thoughts and ideas about ourselves and the way we see the world around us. But not everybody on all platforms are being affected in the same way. Facebook did a whole report acknowledging how their apps were negatively affecting some young girls' images of themselves. It's pretty complex, and certain groups can be more vulnerable than others to the negative impacts of social media. The creators of many addicting features were well-intentioned. The idea started as a way to enhance user experience and make it more engaging. But now all of that operates within an economy that gathers data from users and needs them on a given platform for as long as possible, interacting as much as possible to provide more data. A vicious cycle that none of us are immune to. But I have seen folks try to control the devices and not the other way around. Articles about teens going back to flip phones or adapting the uses of an app so that it doesn't have this constant feeling of extraction. Heck, the creator of Infinite Scroll even has second thoughts. So, if we have folks acknowledging that maybe we need to do something about the beast that is addictive apps, what are we gonna do about it?
Most of the people who are in office right now are of another generation, of a much older generation, and it's not their fault that they don't understand the complexities and the importance of regulating online platforms. But what that means is that those lawmakers need to begin to listen to young people as a way to inform their decisions and as a way to move forward quickly and decisively to create substantive legislative action that will, like I said, by design, really attack these business models and these operations of companies.
But the big question is, what laws will be the most helpful? Should there be laws that regulate features like, hey, you're 13 years old and you're using social media. You can't use autoplay. I mean, it would be great if we could trust our lawmakers to enact laws that make us feel safe and protected on social media and on the internet. But in reality, it looks a lot like this.
Will you commit to ending Finsta?
Senator, again, let me explain. We don't actually do Finsta. What Finsta refers to is young people setting up accounts where they may want to have more privacy. You refer to it as privacy from their parents. What in my interaction with teens, what I found is that they sometimes like to have an account where they can interact just with a smaller group of friends.
Well, Finsta is one of your products or services. We're not talking here about Google or Apple.
And lastly, there's no real way to know or predict how technology will be used or how it'll impact us. We don't even totally understand how it's affecting us in the present. You think the people who made plastic bags were like, hey, we are going to destroy the planet? No, they were probably like, look at this cheap, lightweight option to transport things. But the thing is, at this point, tech companies know that designing apps to be as addictive as possible is negatively impacting us. What they don't know is how to survive as a business without doing so, which is why some things gotta change. What do y'all think? Knowing what you know now, how do you protect your well-being even when you use technologies that can make it worse? Oh, and I want to shout out our partners at Common Sense Education and the Center for Digital Thriving. They helped us produce this episode, and be sure to check out their YouTube channel and subscribe. As always, I'm your host, Miles Best. Peace out.
Hello, welcome to Trending and Entertainment News,
where we share weird stories and all things entertainment. I am Kim.
And I am Pixie.
Let's begin.
In 1978, a teacher told his students they would get together for the 2024 eclipse. He fulfilled his promise in a heartwarming reunion 46 years in the making. Patrick Moriarty, a retired science teacher from upstate New York, fulfilled a promise he made with his students decades ago by watching the 2024 solar eclipse together. Back in 1978, Moriarty, while teaching his earth science class, distributed worksheets detailing the trajectories of upcoming eclipses.
As he highlighted, one of the expected to pass near their hometown. Moriarty boldly declared to his students, "Hey, circle that one on April 8th, 2024. We're going to get together on that one." Fast forward 2 years ago, Moriarty, fueled by nostalgia and determination, created a Facebook event and reached out for his former students. To his surprise, hundreds responded and with enthusiasm, expressing interest in joining the reunion.
In entertainment news, here are some upcoming movie releases. We Grow Now, a story of two legends in their own right, begins. Looking to escape everyday school and their hardship of growing up in public housing, their bond is challenged as they learn to fly.
That's all for Top Trending. Have a great day, GMS. Bye-bye.